Hello everyone. So I just got back, finally saw Elvis. So this movie is about 2 hours and 40 minutes long and is directed by Baz Luhrmann. Stars, of course, Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, and as Elvis is Austin Butler. So this was a movie a long time in the making. I've been very excited for it. Trailers looked absolutely amazing. So of course, after watching it, now I'm going to get to my review for Elvis. So without further ado, let's get into it. So of course, this movie shows us through the entire journey that Elvis went through on his long-running career of just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows that he did all across North America, his family life, his personal life, what was going on in the world around the time of his, of course, his fame and even his upbringing. So basically, this movie's from his childhood becoming a rock and movie star in the 1950s while maintaining a very complex relationship with his manager, of course, Tom Parker. So this is one of those films that really, as of course Bohemian Rhapsody did, as Rocketman did, really shows the extremely parasitic relationship that artists have with their fans, with the general community, with the media, and of course the extremely parasitic relationship that they have a lot with their managers and their managers have with them. It really does not shy away from the trauma and abuse that Elvis went through and was manipulated into believing. It also really shows how strong of a person he was and how resilient he was. But again, everyone breaks, and it does really get into the very sad part of just, again, dozens of years of trauma that has come to haunt him from watching the community of people that he grew up with be marginalized and murdered on TV for giving their voice and realizing that he has a platform to kind of express himself, express tearing down a system that absolutely abuses and overworks people, but still becoming a victim to it himself. There's, again, just a lot of power in the messaging that this movie has, and it does not shy away into the fact that black music is what made Elvis, and it was completely shunned in the background, something he couldn't talk about without risking losing everything, that his label would not even let him come close to mentioning, that politicians and of course other people in the industry would knock him down for having similar movements to that community, and of course too just talks about ethnic mixing and how it's bad to have it making it in music performances, things like this movie gets into a lot of socio-political commentary that I found was done in a very, very good way to show the times, and again too just how brushed off it really was, that it made it impossible for Elvis to talk about, his managers to talk about, even just his fans to admit just the bad things that they were feeling. And when I say bad things, meaning shamed upon by society during that time. There's really a lot that I loved about this movie's commentary. And again, with all of that amazing, just again, socio-political commentary and the beating down of who these people were in real life shows in Austin Butler's performance and of course Tom Hanks' performance, where both of them put on an absolute acting clinic throughout the entirety of this movie. Of course, playing someone as Tom Parker, Tom Hanks is absolutely ruthless and manipulative and brutal, and you could see like the charm and again just manipulation that he plays into of abusing like a father role, the I created Elvis, so I didn't kill Elvis. It was the pills that did. The pills that he was pushing upon him, as we learned, and just so many things that's just really, again, dive into the history of Elvis and showing just, again, just how much trauma was within it. And yeah, Austin Butler puts on amazing performance again of just being resilient and so strong and sounding just like him, acting just like him, the costume design, set design, even to like there's certain points where the film gets so grainy as kind of they filmed in the 60s and 70s. It was really amazing just the amount of authenticity that went into making this movie look and feel and sound the way it did. It was pretty damn incredible. And in terms of like these autobiography ish movies about a lot of these stars, I do think Elvis has to be one of my favorites because, again, just a lot of authenticity that comes from the film and the performances, everything. I loved watching this movie. It was a spectacle and it was really, really amazing. And Austin Butler puts on one of the greatest performances that I have seen this year, if not the best thus far. It's pretty damn special and incredible, and I can definitely see myself coming back to watch this. I mean, it gets dark and depressing, and again, it doesn't shy away from a lot of the themes that Elvis and his manager and all these people have faced, like controversies that they faced in the past, and even to bringing their stories into the current contemporary era. It just goes to show how little a lot has changed from parasitic managers and just kind of the music culture and just the way that artists are really taken, their soul gets sucked out is still there. And of course too, just black influence on rock and roll and music and how it's been so shunned down is really shown in this movie in ways that I absolutely loved that they were able to show and highlight. And again, like I said, the authenticity of this movie was really, really well done. But there's a few times in the movie where you have modern day music make its way into the soundtrack, and it'll kind of be like you'll be surrounded by lots of music from that time era, but then all of a sudden you'll hear like Doja Cat start singing and her music come into this movie. And as much as I love Denzel Curry, like props to him for having his music in this movie. I don't like it, and I found it didn't fit at all. It felt so out of place having these modern day songs make their way into this piece of the past and of history. It just, again, it didn't feel like it belonged there. It didn't sound like it belonged there. So it did kind of bother me a little bit, but never like ruined a scene for me. It just really felt out of place and it was very noticeable. And of course, the first half of this movie gets a lot into the socio-political aspects of Elvis, but then the second half is a lot of him trying to bring himself more into his music after, again, so many people tried to hide who he was and what he was doing in his performances. So a lot of, I want to say the second half of this movie is very, very slow, but not in a bad way because it just sets up, again, a very depressing and just very well done picture of what broke Elvis in so many ways. And of course, too, like it's a slow burn where it has a really great payoff and amazing performances and everything, but it was a lot slower to the very fast paced build up that this movie has within the first hour of it. There wasn't a second of this movie that I felt dragged on for too long or I thought didn't need to be in this movie. But truly, it's just absolutely incredible, and I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. It's just my girlfriend and I absolutely loved watching this film and talked about it the entire way home. We want to watch it again just because there's some amazing scenes. Austin Butler's performance is amazing. It sounds, acts, looks just like Elvis. And yeah, truly, like I said, having the even comic book and superhero influences make their way into telling the story, I thought was really, really cool and just too very empowering for who Elvis was as a person. So truly with Elvis, there's a lot to love about this movie. I think no matter what demographic you fit into, which age group you fit into, there's something for everyone in this. And it's a very, very well done story that highlights the person, who he was and who he wanted to be. And again, just what was hidden from the world about who he was. And it's just truly an amazing performance. And I think a must see movie of the year that I do really hope Austin Butler gets nominated for Best Actor. I hope this gets up there for Best Picture. There's just a lot of incredible things about this movie. So with everything taken together, I'm going to have to give Elvis a 9 out of 10. Very authentic, aside from, of course, these modern day songs that they put into it that I just didn't really feel fit there. Very well paced. And again, just a slow burn for the final half, but a slow burn that really pays off in a lot of great ways. Amazing performances all around. And yeah, just one of the best movies of the year by far. So if you've seen Elvis, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up. And let me, well, of course, you can check out everything I do on this channel through my playlist up top here that I'll link for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing and turning that little bell on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out everything I do live streaming Twitch-wise, link to that in the description of this video and of course my channel bio. And in both of those places, you'll find a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.